going to start this foreign trade. Actually, what we have seen till now that the different sector, different part of Indian economy was gradually shattered by the British government, and foreign with the help of that, with the help of foreign trade, also this process again materialized. How? Because India has a very important trading nation. Since the ancient times, we have already discussed about that. So the reasons for this, the situations of Indian foreign trade during the British period can be categorized in some. We can explain with some points. First one is like the exporter of primary products and importer of the finished goods. What was that? We have already seen that India became a exporter of the primary products. What are those primary products? These primary products such as raw silk, it was cotton, wool, sugar, indigo, jute. That means which were required for the industrial required for as the raw materials of the industrial revolution that was happening in Britain. Okay, so these were the exports of these particular important raw materials, and India became the importer of the finished consumer goods like cotton, silk. These are not raw cotton, raw silk. That is the clothes or any other fabric made from this cotton, silk, woolen clothes, and any other capital goods like light machineries, which were produced in the British industries. So this was a discriminatory tariff policies that has been already discussed in the industrial sector, that exporter of the primary products is very much necessary to build up an industrial setup which is going from our country, and the importer of finished goods which we have to face a competition in our domestic market. So this actually is the reason for the poor state of foreign trade that we can say. Second point is the monopoly control of the British rule. We know that the British government maintained a monopoly control over India's export and import. Why? Because it was a ruling country and we were the colonies. So there was the political, social, every aspects were dominated by the British. So what we have seen that more than half of India's foreign trade was restricted to Britain, like because they were forced to export those primary products. So more than half, 50% से ज़्यादा ब्रिटेन के साथ trade होता था, while the rest was allowed with few other countries, like we can say China के साथ थोड़ा बहुत होता था. At that particular time Sri Lanka's name was Ceylon, so that is उसके साथ थोड़ा सा trade होता था, and Persia, like Iran, now it is Iran. So जो कि 50%, more than 50% trade were engaged with Britain and a few other states like China, Sri Lanka, Iran, etc. And what happened that uh, Britain, with the help of this Britain export of these raw materials, we were not able to produce any base for the industrial sector in our economy. That is another reason. Now, if we come to the third reason, draining of Indian wealth, that means something which is draining out or going out from our country. We have already discussed about the discriminatory tariff policies, that under this British rule, how India became an exporter of the primary products or exporter of the raw materials and importer of the finished product. This is the main thing which shattered everything. Okay, and there was a huge export surplus that particular time also, which things used to be exported from India, that created a huge export surplus also. But that export surplus was not used for the development of the country of India. Rather, that export surplus has been used by the Britishers to make payments for the expenses incurred by the office set up by them in Britain, or these export surplus is used for to meet the expenses on war fought by the British government, because British made different colonies in the different parts of the world, and there was a almost kinds of war was there with the different other countries also. So these expenses have been used over there. And not only that, to import some invisible items, but especially the services. So these type of services they imported from uh, from the foreign countries, and we know that when there is an import in a country, there is a outflow of the foreign currencies, and the wealth of an economies is becomes poor, and that thing happened during. So this drain of Indian wealth means one question comes that what do you mean by the drain of Indian wealth? So that when you are saying the drain of Indian wealth, it is not only the draining of the raw materials and the primary products from the country, it is also the usage of the export surplus in a bad manner, or usage of these export surplus not using for the development of India, rather it has been used for the other purposes which were not that much significant. Okay, that was the third point. Fourth one point, we can say that at that particular time, there was an opening of the Suez Canal. Now, in 1869, this Suez Canal has been opened up, and this is an we can say Suez Canal is an artificial waterway which is running from north to south across the Isthmus of Suez in northeastern Egypt. Earlier, what happened? Earlier, the trade used to conducted through a long route, but the opening of this Suez Canal in 1969, which reduces the cost of transportation, because now it is very easy to access to the Indian market. The long route had become shorter. Okay, and these canal provided a direct trade route for ships which were operating between Britain and India, and it avoided the need to sail around Africa, which were used to be performed earlier, and which took a long time also. Now it has become easier, and strategically and economically, we can say it is one of the most important waterways in the world at that particular time, because the cost of production not only reduced, the time uh, required time also reduced. So what happened? These opening up of Suez Canal ultimately helped the Britishers for exporting the raw materials and the primary products, as well as to import the finished products in India. Got it? So what we can say, just go through the slides once again. We can say that the composition of India's trade, it become it became the exporter of the primary products as importer of the finished goods, and volume of India's exports were more than its imports, because there was a large export surplus, but these export surplus were not properly used by the Britishers. Rather, they had a monopoly control over the Indian market, and more of the half of India's foreign trade was restricted to Britain and other few countries like Sri Lanka, Iran, China, and that. And one of the important uh, initiative was that time the opening up of the Suez Canal in 1861, which reduced the cost as well as the time of the transportation, and which aggravated, we can say, or made access to the Indian market easier. So the exploitation of the Indian market. You have also studied in the statistics also. These normally these operations are carried out after every 10 years. Okay. So here one year come, that is 1921. This 1921, this year is called the year of Great Divide. Note it down. One more question. Which years is considered as the year of Great Divide? It is 1921. Why? Because before 1921, India was in the first stage of demographic transaction, and the second stage of transition began after 1991. So the year 1921 is described as the year of Great Divide. Got it? Now we will describe one by one what was the demographic condition during the colonial rule can be explained with the help of certain indicators. Now, what are those indicators? First indicators you write down, that is the high birth rate and death rate. The first one, birth rate. What is birth rate? It refers to the number of children born per thousand in a year. एक साल में 1000 जो बच्चे पैदा होते हैं उसमें से कितने 1000 लोगों में कितने बच्चे पैदा होते हैं. ओके, दैट इज द बर्थ रेट. एंड डेथ रेट रेफर्स टू द नंबर ऑफ पीपल डाइंग पर 1000 पर्सन इन अ ईयर. एक साल में 1000 में कितने बच्चे लोग मर जाते हैं. दैट इज द डेथ रेट. बोथ birth rate as well as the death rate was very high. Almost birth rate was 48% and death rate was also almost 40 per thousand, not percent. It is 48 per thousand birth rate and death rate is 40 per thousand. Okay, so this was one of the demographic indicator. Now we can come to the second type of demographic indicator, that is low literacy rate, extremely low literacy rate. So the overall literacy level was less than 16%, overall literacy. And out of this, the female literacy level was a negligible low of about 7%. So overall literacy less than 16, and out of this female literacy was even lower, like 7% से भी कम. Third indicator, very poor health facilities. All of you are noting down now. Very poor health facilities. Now, if we look at the public health facilities, we can see that either they were unavailable to the large mass of population, or if it is available, that were also highly inadequate. So as a result, what happened? The waterborne disease, the airborne disease, these were widespread and it took a huge toll on life. That we can say. Got it? Fourth point is high infant mortality rate. So infant mortality rate you have already studied in class 10. That is it refers to the number of infants dying before reaching 1 year of age per thousand live births in a year. So this infant mortality rate was also quite alarming. It's almost 218 per thousand. And in contrast to the infant mortality rate in 2011 for the last census, we can say it was only 44. It is expected that in 2021, when new census will come up, it will reduce a lot. So the infant mortality rate was also very high. Fifth demographic indicators, we can say life expectancy. Life expectancy refers to the average number of years for which people are expected to live. And it was also very low. It is a 32 years. In contrast to the present, it is more than 70 or 68 years according to the 2011 data, but now it's more than 70. Okay. Sixth points, we can say there was a widespread poverty. That is, there is no reliable data about the extent of poverty. But there is no doubt that these extensive poverty prevailed in India during the colonial period. And the overall standard of living of the common people in India was very low and widespread poverty in the country. So what we can conclude from all these demographic indicators, that the British rule was the main reason to worsen the profile of India's population. Okay, so like agriculture, industry, foreign trade, also the demographic profile of the population of the country is showing that it is a total backward economy.